Lord, the shenanigans have begun. Yo, 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 yo. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Get up and move your body. Get your body moving. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey.
In the morning.
Whew. Let's get it rolling. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Top of the morning to y'all.
Once again, we're back for Sky Omaha Radio, baby.
Hey. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Wednesday, March the 16th, 2022. 22. As you can see, the three agreeos in the house.
Hey.
With the shenanigans.
Oh, yeah. We are back.
Yep. With the she in the nanigans.
Putting she
Not
in the
just
nanigans.
nanigans today.
Nah. You up in here. In there.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen,
in rare form.
We're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, and Star Trek Rich in the back.
Hey,
chilling. Laying in the cut. On this Wednesday, March 16th, 2022, it is hump day, as they say. So welcome. You know what day it is.
Hump day.
Look, y'all gotta let me do my thing.
Oh, okay. You come in on cue.
It is.
You guessed it.
We was waiting. Was waiting a little bit, Michelle. Was like,
oh. I missed my cue.
Good. It's all good.
Brother Josh Tag right there with you. Happy hump day. Welcome back, Paul Beeee. Ready for some shenanigans.
Yeah, man. Yes. It's going down. Good morning, fam. Got a good morning from Pops. What's happening?
Hey.
Leia Keister says morning. That's right. Judy Prinzer says good day already with y'all. Appreciate you getting up so early with us. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome.
Pops says the best of the best. Love it.
Yes, we try.
That's what's happening. Josh Tay gives us a happy hump day. Welcome back, Paul B. Ready for some shenanigans?
Yes,
right. Michelle putting the she in the nanigans. Stacey Jenkins, good morning. First Sky Omaha family and friends. And Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. The fam is in the house. Thank you very much. Brother Muhammad gives us assalamu alaikum, family.
Hey, alaikum salam, family.
Thanks for joining us. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich is going down. Man, back.
That's what's happening. Yes, indeed. How was Vegas?
Yeah, man. Let us know. How was the wedding and everything? Time with the fam.
The wedding was great. The wedding was off the hook. We really needed that good, positive family gathering situation. And very happy for my cousin Rosalind, who is a First Sky Omaha fan and supporter, by the way. So
congrats.
So one of the family got married. That's right. Cousin Roz. Yeah, it was great, man. We're all grown now, so we all took it easy. Didn't do too much. Didn't go out too late. Back to the hotel. Took naps. It was great.
Party with bedtime.
So look, it's about 10:30.
Yeah, it's about time to go back to the hotel. Yeah,
ain't got to go home, but
got to spend some time with Pops out there, so that's what's happening. Did a show from Pops' house a couple days.
Yes.
So yeah, it was great. It was a successful trip. I'm not too jet lagged, even though I got the jet lag and the time change and everything going on.
Yeah,
but I don't believe in the concept of time, so I'm good.
Speaking of that, you kind of hopped out on the clouds during daylight savings time when things kind of jumped up. So yeah, if you woke up a little discombobulated over the weekend, it was daylight savings time. That did happen.
You lost an hour of sleep.
Yeah, we sprung forward an hour. That's how I keep it. You spring forward and you fall back an hour. But again, we don't believe in the concept of time around here. That's just even with definitely in the light of what you was talking about, Paul. They talking about permanent daylight savings time.
They're about to vote on making permanent daylight savings time permanent.
So, I don't even see how. I don't.
I don't know how they saving daylight anyway.
What they saving it for?
There's that Native American meme that goes around. It said only the white man can take 3 inches off of one end of the blanket, put it on the other end, and think he has a longer blanket.
Yeah, the day is still the day.
Yeah,
it's still the day.
I don't.
Paul talking about he don't believe in the concept of time. You let me be past 6:30 around here.
Yeah.
Well,
got places to be.
The only time that I deal with time is when I have to deal with the order of dealing with other people. That's the only time. That's what time is good for.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it's time to go.
Yeah.
And when it's time to go.
When it's time to get there and when it's time to go.
Yeah. I don't believe in the concept of time, but bye.
Oh, wait.
Time to go.
Is it 5 o'clock?
Hey, thanks for joining us again on this Wednesday. All the First Sky fam in the house and everybody that wasn't around. We didn't do the Monday show. That was because I was doing some traveling and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. So thanks for dealing with that. If you have any complaints, you can call HR. I'll answer the phone. I promise. And write down your complaint. Now we apologize for not broadcasting on Monday, but hey, we're here on Wednesday. We got some good things to talk about for sure. Some good news, some ongoing news. I didn't put it in the headlines, but I guess we better talk about these gas prices a little bit because
man, that's one. I haven't really been going anywhere over the last week. I'll be honest, due to these gas prices. About $5 where I'm at. I don't know about y'all, but
$5.09 or something crazy.
Yeah, man. It's
10 gallons to get you $50 around here.
$5 and seems like it's going to be continuing to creep up. I will say states are trying to do something with the removal of the gas tax. I know Georgia just moved theirs to for the Congress to vote or for the legislature to vote.
Yeah, I don't know about whether or not that's going to be anything though, because it's not much. It'd be like 16 cents on the whole price in the first place, and that money's supposed to go to infrastructure stuff. So I don't know.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul, huh?
Sewing that 3 inches on the other side of the blanket.
Basically. Yeah. But yeah, let us know how was your extended weekend. As Paul mentioned, we did not have the show on Monday. So this is us kind of kicking off our week. So again, let us know how your weekend was, your extended weekend, anything that happened over the weekend that you'd like to discuss. Definitely feel free to chime into the chat, drop that in. And of course, if there's anything interesting of note that you got into, definitely feel free to drop that into the chat as well. But as Paul mentioned, we do have some things to talk about, not just the concept of time, but some things that are happening here in these times. And speaking of time, we are working on scheduling a guest on Friday. Brother Kasim Shabazz of the Black Agenda Alliance. They are doing some good work, so we're actually going to kind of set that up and talk about what it is that they're doing today, and then hopefully get a little more insight on Friday. So we'll definitely be getting into that. And I also, brother Melvin Muhammad might know a little bit about this. A couple students of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan have kind of jumped into a similar project. So this isn't what the BAA is doing, isn't just in a vacuum. There are different efforts and other organizations and groups across the country that are doing this. And I want to put it into that context because it's happening right here in our backyard as well. And so we'll definitely talk about that. Also, speaking of things happening in our backyard, North and South Omaha is looking like they are in line to get a pretty nice bag coming up pretty soon. And on the heels of COVID-19, there's a COVID recovery proposal that's being pushed through the legislature's appropriations committee to the tune of $250 million. So again, we'll talk about exactly what that's for, where it's coming from, what's it all about. So we'll dive into that. And then also, speaking of a bag of Front Porch Investments, is excited to announce that they are opening their innovation round of funding for affordable housing, a buzzword that we use a lot here on this show, something that we discuss almost every episode as far as housing, because let's be honest, we all need a roof over our head. So hopefully this will go a long way into assisting in that. We'll be talking about that. There are some application dates and deadlines and things like that. So we'll be giving you that information coming up a little later on in the show. Now, also, definitely wanted to dive into this education stuff. There's some good news coming from the education realm, not just the calculus test at Omaha North that one of the chat chimers mentioned. We got some more information on that, but also UNL's doing some things to the tune of free tuition.
Yeah, man.
I like the sound of that.
I do.
I like the sound of that. And I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on all of that, Michelle, as again, you are kind of our resident education expert, writing whole education plans for candidates and things like that. So I would definitely love to dive into that conversation and more. It is also still Women's History Month, so we'll be getting into a little bit of that. And of course, you see Michelle, you know it's the shenanigans, and you already know a soapbox moment coming up a little later on. So all that and more, we're live for the next 2 hours for Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, my man Star Trek, Rich in the back, all of you. Let's go.
Hey. What up? What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Good morning.
In the morning.
Buddy.
In the morning.
My bad. I'm
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star
We
Trek.
all slow today.
Man. Welcome back on this Wednesday. It is Wednesday, March the 16th. Right now, 2022, and we want to welcome everybody back. Shout out to the 630 crew who was up listening on the radio channel this morning. Hope the mix was good for you. And as you can see, we have Michelle Troxclair in the house, the she in the nanigans, the three agreeos back on the scene. It's going down. Got a good morning from Brother Valentine. Morning, fam. Miss Erica Fell says good morning. Brother Muhammad says, just let me know. Sharon is Karen.
Yeah,
Miss Brianna Fool gives us a good morning. Good morning to you as well. Brother Muhammad says, education, justice. Let's bring it into reality. I heard that. Stephen Abraham says, I like the new graphics. Grand Rising, everyone. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pop says, best opening theme sequence ever. Pops, you biased, but I appreciate it anyway. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah. The people love it, man. The people love it. So I'm glad. Because space is the place, y'all. Space is the place. And
yes,
that's
sir.
What we're talking about in this season of First Sky Omaha here in the third season already, man.
Third season.
Man. For real?
Yeah, man. We started last year. It's been a year now.
Season. Yeah, well over a year actually. Third season. So we definitely appreciate the support and the whole family.
If you believe in the concept of time.
that thing. But I do believe in the journey, and we've come a long way, man. So
got a good morning from our East Coast correspondent, Miss Tibbs.
Yes. Top of the morning.
That's my mama.
Top of the morning to you. But yes, it's all about carving out spaces and carving out our own places as we go into the future and into the digital and space age and all of that, man. So we welcome you and appreciate everyone for chiming into the chat. And even if you're not chiming into the chat, you just tuned in right now to First Sky Omaha. Welcome,
ghost listeners.
Yeah. That's what I like to call them. The ghost listeners. You there, but can't quite see you or hear you. But
there you go.
Yeah, as long as you tell a friend to tell a friend, that's all that matters, man. Let the people know we tweeting, we tubing, we twitching.
And Miss Tibbs is on YouTube, which we really appreciate. We are YouTubing now. What do you say, tubing, tweeting, and twitching?
Yep, that's it.
Twitching. My mama got some problems with her spelling this morning.
Morning.
It's pretty early for her though.
She fat thumbing the screen. It's all good.
She's typing like this.
Hit us with the peanut. Said, "Good grief."
There it is. Hey, we appreciate you tuning in, listening too.
right, man. Well, let's go ahead and dive into it. As I mentioned on Friday, we are working on getting brother Kasim Shabazz of the Beeee in the building. And that's where we start off today's conversation, kick things off, talking about how this brother and the people involved with the Black Agenda Alliance are carving out their own space, carving out their own place, quite literally, man. This is a post from brother Kasim Shabazz on Facebook, giving an update on some of the latest moves from the Black Agenda Alliance. He says, we bought 8 acres of land right here in North Omaha during the gentrification with nothing more than the collective Black dollar. I don't think many of you truly understand our power. I want to thank God for allowing me to live long enough to simply get a taste of what it feels like. What we are capable of when we operate on a much higher frequency other than ego and individualism is and have been unimaginable. Thank you, Black Agenda Alliance family, for understanding the assignment and staying the course. Black Power. So again, this is not a small feat for an organization like the Beeee to purchase 8 acres of land in North Omaha of all places. Again, we've kind of talked about how hard it is to acquire land in North Omaha, especially that's not heavily dilapidated, and you got to do some real renovations. They're actually building something from the ground up. I've seen some of the photos and some of the imagery from when they got this done, and they are building a community from the ground up. Brother Melvin Muhammad, who's actually a part of the Beeee, he says, I'm out headed to class. Everyone be safe. Peace. Okay.
Peace,
so,
brother Muhammad.
Definitely be peace to you, brother Muhammad. But I will also like next time we talk to brother Muhammad to kind of get into that as well, and possibly get into some of his Nation of Islam connections, because again, as I mentioned, it's not just the Beeee, it's not just brother Kasim, but this is a wave that's happening in our city, but it's a national wave that's happening. There's actually another project that I've been paying attention to called the Hereafter Farms, which is 27 acres that 2 individuals purchased, brother Farrakhan Muhammad Ali and brother Dr. Ben X, who are both members of the Nation of Islam, and they're doing the same thing. Again, self-actualization is the vibe, is the move, and we're all here for it.
That's what's up. We'll say some of those details about what they're gonna do with that land when we talk to brother Kasim on Friday.
Yeah, man.
And talk about what they're gonna do. But I'm all for it, man. I think that like I said, I think one of the best ideas we came up with as a fam here on First Sky Omaha was take some of that the ARPA funds and buy some of that land from the land bank, buy all of it up if we could. And as you can see, we got organizations right here in the fam here that knows what to do with that land when they get it. So, affordable housing is just one thing, but there's other things that we can be doing, farming and all kinds of good stuff. So we'll definitely talk to brother Kasim on Friday about that. Michelle, well, you got some words on how you feel about us owning land in general and in North Omaha in particular.
Incredibly important. As a matter of fact, I think that it is the only way we stop gentrification.
Hello.
And gentrification in and of itself,
own gentrification is what we need to be doing.
Man,
right. Because what I've been noticing is there is a resurgence of people wanting to move back towards the downtown area that don't look like us. And I think it's extremely important that we not be displaced and what we consider our neighborhoods and our historical sites not be taken over. So the only way we do that is to pick up land and make sure that we have affordable housing, that we create spaces for businesses that are occupied by us, and that we make sure that not only affordable housing and business takes place, but we have cultural spots and art spots as well. So the only way we do that is to do it ourselves.
Yeah. Definitely with that. I think it's a mainstay here for us and just everybody who's a friend of. Kind of all feel the same way about that, and I think that this is going to be one of those years when moves start being made. And as you can see, Black Agenda Alliance is setting the tone, setting it off.
Man.
So yeah, I'm all for it, man, for sure.
Man, real moves being made. And I always appreciate the Black Agenda Alliance and just how they go about making their moves. So definitely look forward to not only learning more about, this project here with the 8 acres of land, but also, other social programs that they have, because they are, putting in the work.
That's right.
They're definitely putting in the work.
And speaking of social programs, they also are an organization that can receive funds. I would highly encourage people to donate to the Black Agenda Alliance as well. I was talking to somebody last night, told me that she gave all her money to the Humane Society. So you know what I had to say about that. Next time, break off a little chunk to the Black Agenda Alliance. If you can care for the dogs, you can care for our Black brothers and sisters in our neighborhoods. Thank you very much.
I got an interesting story along those lines when I worked at New Community Development Corporation under Mike Maroney back in the day. We were searching for funds to, build housing. I think we were looking for a multifamily unit site and looking for donations. And one of those top potential funders proceeded to tell us that, she gave to the zoo and their new orangutan complex. And I was like, we rather house apes than Black people. Okay.
Maybe she thought that's what she was doing.
Oh, dang.
So
interesting. Brother Valentine brings up a good point too. He says, and you cannot forget that we need to develop our own workforce.
And that's kind of the interesting thing about it is beyond, just the idea. Okay, there's groups of us that are going out acquiring land with the idea of developing it. That's not the only inspirational thing about all of this, but how they're going about developing it. There are some, instances that I've heard of groups of people, again, even down here in Georgia. There's a group that's kind of building something similar to what we saw or what we're seeing. I forget the name of these organizations, but like Irvington is these communities that they're their own thing. It's like we talked about it before.
Annexed,
the name.
I mean,
but it's the things that would eventually become annexed.
Right,
that's what these people are building, and that's coming with infrastructure. That's coming with there's resources as far as building the homes, the actual structures that's going on this land. The resources from that are coming from some Black owned organizations. Some of the people that are building it are Black contractors. Some of the entities other than houses that are going into these communities are stores and other services that people who live in that community will need. So it is a full as far as Brother N.M.R. Valentine says, a full creation of a whole workforce, a whole community, a whole society in some respects.
For sure, man. Brianna Full says there recently was a community meeting too about how we can start buying land. It was either Black Men United or 100 Black Men of Omaha. Excuse me, I think it was Black Men United. I thought I saw something about a meeting that they were having on that. It's a definite thing. You got to have a plan. I mean, there's stuff out there. We talk about the land bank all the time, and the land bank still has a lot of land. As a matter of fact, I talked to someone who was trying to purchase some land from the land bank and found out that the land bank owns a whole lot more land than the land bank is even showing on their own maps. And you can see it via other websites. And this particular person said they called and was like, well, what's up with this plot right here that this site says you own, but your site says it. Or it's being held for something or something that's not available, so pushing in on what's going on there. I mean, that the land bank is there for us to be able to own land in our own neighborhoods. That's what it's there for, to make it affordable enough for people in the neighborhoods to own it, to take it back. And it's not really supposed to be for developers or for big projects that way. So really kind of digging into that and making some change there. I also want to have Dewan Hayes. I want to say Haynes for some. Oh, Haynes because it's my cousin. Hayes, yes, Dewan Lamont Hayes, who is who is in the process right now of trying to acquire some land from the land bank, and in talks with them about what kind of facility, what kind of structure he can build on this land, and try to make some actual affordable housing happen for himself, and set a model for other people to be able to do that too. So we should have him on and talk about that a little bit as well.
Yeah, and some of our buildings there, OIC building. There's some buildings out there. The Martin Luther King Jr. Center, where OHA used to be housed on 30th Street. We've got some buildings sitting that really need some love.
Yeah, definitely that Martin Luther King Jr. building. I mean, that's been empty and just kind of not in order for as long as I can remember. I can't remember, any real organizations or services being held out of there or anything really operating.
Should be a black school right there. They should make that. I mean, it's big enough to be a school.
It is. Nice. I would say an art school. An arts-based school.
I can see that. I can see that. Just because there's Howard Kennedy and there's Druid Hill. I think that's Druid Hill. Not too far from it. So if it were to be like a art school or so, or like a technical
school of the arts,
just something different that's not really being provided in the community. I like that idea. I like it a lot.
Hey, we got a good morning, y'all, from Black Dynamite. Also, Ty Williams gives us a good morning with some sunshine. Appreciate you guys joining in on the chat. If you're here and you're a ghost listener, don't be scared to hesitate to chime in on the chat.
Oh yeah,
become a chat chimer, join the conversation. Also, if you're listening on Facebook, I highly encourage you to share this on your page so that we can get as many people to check it out as well. Michelle, did you share it on your page?
I forgot.
You over there tapping away and didn't share it.
I am. Yes. I'm just falling all down on the job today. Let me just.
Sorry, it's okay. You hear.
It's because I'm so pale. I'm like, I look like I belong on the Lord of the Rings right now.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
One of them elves.
All right, one of the elven.
Yes, one of the elven crew. Yes.
Well, we're happy that you're here, putting the she in the nanigans. Michelle Troxclair is going down. It's going. You know what? What I love about it is the three agreeos is really kind of stuck, and people been saying it, and it's been coming back to me in a good way. I love how people are understanding like where we're coming from. We have holding conversations, but also telling stories. We got the history. We got all kinds of stuff going on. So appreciate Michelle coming back on through. Miss Erica Fell says, "I got you." Michelle, you look fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know about the pale comment.
Yeah,
you trying to blame your mom about something again? Leave the elderly alone. She said it's not nice.
I think he's still recovering from the house saloon party. I think that's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Ain't fully recovered from the loon party.
Kind of want to talk about that a little bit. I'm kind of sorry I missed that. I was out of town though, but I saw it went down. I was kind of like, oh, the fam's back.
Brianna Fool says, can't wait for the summer looking like Vampire Brie over here.
Oh, yeah, look like I sleep in a coffin right now.
Lord have mercy.
As soon as I leave here.
Says I shared.
It was supposed to say I got you. I shared. Got it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You got us in all kinds of ways. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And and once again, just to remind people, yes, if you are on Facebook, please share the show on your page. You got to get as many people talking as we can here. So, and if you're on YouTube, Michelle, what show are you on right now? What are you doing over here?
Oh, I couldn't pull it on my Facebook. Oh, I had to go out on the internetosphere to pull the page.
The internetosphere. Okay. Also, if you are on YouTube, you happen to be on YouTube, or if you're not on YouTube right now, just let you know we are on YouTube. Please share, subscribe, all that good stuff over there. So you can play the YouTube game. And
I think I did it.
Okay.
I think I
tried.
I think so. Well, I did it. Yes.
We'd rather you not do that during the show, but that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. We appreciate you.
And look, I'm here to put the she in the nanigans.
Yeah. We see. But yeah, we definitely appreciate everybody sharing the show, telling a friend and tell a friend. And yes, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. The subscribers over there are going up slowly but surely. So I don't know, who has subscribed, but thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we jumped over there because y'all telling us how sick of Facebook y'all are. So we on YouTube now too, and of course, Alternatively, we're also on Twitter, which I'm finding a lot of the alternative news and news people are on Twitter.
Okay.
So they're following us over there too. So yeah, Twitter. And then we got a few Twitch people out there, but we got more Twitch trolls than we got people on Twitch right now. So
we'll see about that.
7:30 right now. If you're keeping track of time and you believe in the concept, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich. We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned. Be right back, y'all. Good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, Michelle Troxclair in the house. The three agreeos. It's going down. The shenanigans is happening now. And all of you, of course, the chat chimers, thank you so much for joining into the chat. And yeah, man, we hope that you tell a friend, get the chat going as much as possible. That's right. It is a Wednesday, the 16th of March already, mid-March already.
I'm waiting for that mid-March weather.
Man, yeah, it's been kind of rainy and cold down here.
Has it?
Yeah, it has. The last couple of days.
Wow.
It was like 74 in Vegas.
Shut up.
Thanks. Thanks.
West Coast, little California weather, you know. Of course, gas is $7 there too.
Yeah, see.
It's nice out, but home.
Right. You ain't gonna be going nowhere.
You can sit out in the front yard with your water hose.
or the walk would be nicer. How about that? The walk would be nicer. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, let us know what you guys did over the extended weekend.
Yeah.
Love to hear from you as well about what happened and what was good. What was coming up?
The loom party?
I was looming.
Yeah, tell me about the loom party if you went, for sure.
Oh, it was out at Barnado in the back room. I didn't know they had the back room.
Yeah, you gotta
go through the refrigerator to get to the back room.
Yeah, I was like, what manner of foolishness is going on here?
Where y'all taking me? Hold up.
So I went back there and hung out with the wonderful Brent Crampton.
Yes,
and Jay Klein and Ethan Bondelid. Yes, the former owners of the House of Loom, and then of course, all of the regulars that would attend Loom events were all present and accounted for, except for Paul B.
Yeah, I was out of town. I missed that. But I was happy to see all the fam back together again. It was a good feeling.
Actually, Alea Keiser says her husband did all the projections for the loom party.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Very nice.
So, we had a really good time. It was an intimate space. Thankfully, back with the DJ's booth, they had seating area for VIP folks and elders, such as myself.
Say for the old heads.
Yeah, because I danced out there in my heels for a good 60 seconds.
All right now, y'all. Cut up enough rug.
But it was very nice, very nice.
Yeah, if you haven't been to the Barnado, definitely do yourself a favor. Check it out. It's always a good time. Good DJs, Angie Spence and Crab Rangucci and the whole squad out there. So
we had Kethro out there. One of my favorite picks from that night was with Kethro. So
what they should have did was broke and have you and Fee do a verbal gumbo verse real quick too in the middle of it.
Oh, really take them back.
Yeah. Man, but my other half is out there in Philly.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah.
She left me all alone.
I don't know, it might be the other way around. You was out there in Ghana.
True.
I mean, pot calling the kettle black. You moved to a whole other continent.
And then skip town all the way.
Left us all alone.
Well, but I'm back.
Yeah, that's right. And we're happy to have you back. Happy to have you back. Looking forward to
this.
It's
nice to be back.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. It's nice to have you. Again, it's not the same without you. It's not the same without you. That's why we gotta put the she and the nanigans. And 3 agreeos is better than 2. That's this.
Yeah, well, the nanigans is just nanigans.
And nobody likes the nanigans.
Nobody likes just nanigans.
No. So we appreciate all the chat chimers and all the ghost listeners, everybody out there for tolerating our shenanigans. Yeah, I think that's a good word, toleration. So yeah, we appreciate y'all. But let's keep it moving, man. Jump into this conversation and actually continue the conversation that we were having before the break.
We got to go back to the toleration.
The toleration in the dancery.
Don't need no hateration. We need toleration in this dancery.
Yeah.
Genius. Mary J is genius.
Yes.
And she's actually having a festival out here, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
So maybe if
I show up on your doorstep, get me a pallet ready.
Hey, maybe in the hat. We'll talk about it a little later on. But I do want to talk about this front porch investments, if that's all right with y'all.
Yep.
All righty.
Again, continuing our conversation about housing, and again, big shout out to Brother Kasim and what they're doing to Beeee. But also a big shout out to Front Porch Investments. And actually, a couple of the friends of First Sky are working over there, part of the team and the fam over there. So we're definitely looking forward to getting more information. But we're here to let you know about their innovation round of funding for affordable housing development and support programs. So again, if you are someone who is kind of paying attention to the conversation and of like mind to what Brother Kasim and the Beeee are doing, and you too are interested in purchasing some land and developing your own housing situation, this could assist in that. Again, grant and loan opportunities will be available to nonprofit organizations and for-profit developers. Applications will be open from March 14th. So again, applications are open now all the way up until the 28th. Meredith Dillon, who's executive director of Front Porch Investments, says we will prioritize the creation of affordable housing in areas near job centers and transit, and support programs that provide access to affordable housing across the community. We look forward to partnering with nonprofit and for-profit developers focused on transformative catalyst projects in our Omaha neighborhoods. And that's definitely what we need, is transformation and catalyst for change. And again, hopefully this will be that. Awards will be announced in May of this year. So this is something that could even get rolling by this summer. The innovation round serves as a pilot for the Development and Preservation Fund, which is expected to launch this summer. So there will be future rounds of funding. This is sort of the initial round to get the ball rolling. But this funding is focused solely on affordable housing and is the first of its kind for the Omaha area. And a big shout out again to Naomi Hadaway, who's a friend of First Sky Omaha and also director of communications with Front Porch Investments. And she says, in seeking to increasing housing accessibility, choice, and stability, we also accept the obligation to simultaneously support equity, housing justice, innovation, best practices, and collaborative partnerships. So actually, Paul, going back to what you were talking about as far as what DeWan was doing and looking, exploring different structures and different materials to use and figure out the most cost-effective thing to do as far as building housing on these land bank properties. Maybe this is something that he can, use.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I did talk to Miss Hadaway last week. She said she's willing to come on the show and talk about some of these things. First question, of course, we're gonna have for her is, what is the definition of affordable housing? which is one of our favorite first Sky Omaha questions around here. So we definitely have to see that. If you guys have any information on this in the chat, let us know if you've heard anything else about this. But once again, we will have Naomi Hadaway on the show probably next week to talk a little bit about this front poach investment.
Yeah, man.
Heading with the front poach.
Man,
and what we do need to talk about, and you made a very good point, Paul, talking about what is affordable housing. As we look at our homeless population, and what makes people, why are people homeless, and addressing all of those needs. The problem I'm finding here is not only are there limited available units for people, but we are still in a stagnant wage. We're not receiving a living wage. And so rents, even what we consider affordable, are not affordable to most of us.
Right.
And the stringent restrictions on getting into apartment properties, they run credit checks, they run background checks, and all of these types of things. And now they're talking about you have to make 3 times the rent in order to get approved. And as we know, if you're not making a living wage, you're going to have bad credit, and you're not going to make 3 times the rents. And so we have to talk about that as well.
And I wanted to add to that point really quickly, because you just made me think about something. Not just do they want you to make 3 times the rent, but in order to move in, you're going to have to pay 2 or 3, months of rent up front. You need to pay that security deposit. And based on your credit score, I mean, sometimes
first and last month rent.
Exactly. You got to pay first and last month rent. All the fees to turn on the utilities, like it's a very costly thing. And just think about it. Like if you got to pay first and last month's rent and you're just only making 3 times the rent, that means that you have to pay 60% of your check in order to even move in the house. That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. And there are there's nobody putting legislation out there to manage these landlords and what they are doing in terms of charging for rent. And I understand as a landlord, you want to make sure you get your money. I get that. But there has been rent gouging. There's been a lot of things going on, especially during the pandemic when they could receive match funds and stuff like that. There's been a lot of shenanigans going on there.
I mean, even with the match funds, not to mention, it's been reported that landlords who have been receiving match funds are still finding ways to evict you and still not, just taking it upon themselves like, I got the money, but I'm just deciding not to renew your lease. So you got to find a new place anyway. Like, that type of situation.
When I was in Ghana, people were really, I don't know, surprised, I guess the best word for it, that they usually require a year up front for rent. And they're like, how do people do that? And the way they do it, you stay with your family till you amass your year's rent and then you move. But in that case, if something happens during the year where you're out of work a month or 2, you're not homeless.
We
Your
don't have
rent's
that
paid up for the.
I feel like we don't have that kind of society here. We don't have that kind of structure here socially. They push everybody out at 18, and you got to just jump out with the check you got and start paying rent instead of even the thought of staying at home to save up a year's worth of rent sounds novel for us.
And that's kind of interesting, going back to what Brother Kasim was saying and how they as a group were able to achieve the acquisition of 8 acres of land, something that, some people might look at it and be, intimidated, might see like that's a daunting task. How can I acquire 8 acres of land in this economy, with everything going on? But he said what we are capable of when we operate on a much higher frequency other than ego and individualism is and have been unimaginable. And just going back to what you said, Paul, a lot of that is ego and individualism. Let's be honest, a lot of parents are kind of egotistical. I got mine, you go get yours.
You know what I think? I think what it is more so is that it's ingrained in our society. Capitalism is so ingrained in our society that everybody is pushing everybody to get out and start buying everything that their parents just bought at 18. There's too much pressure for you to go out and do that. So they push a spirit of individualism that just so happens to work hand in hand with capitalism You got to go out and get a new place and buy a bunch of furniture, a bunch of cars, a bunch of everything that your family already has. But you got to go get your own because then you're looking crazy in our society if you don't have it. So I think there's a lot to it. And also am very anxious to see, just to circle back around to Front Porch. I have a feeling that they kind of know, they have an idea about what affordable housing really looks like, because their initiative is to provide some funds for people that aren't able to really get into some of these houses. So they might have a different definition of what affordable housing is. And you got to remember what they're supposed to be here for. They're reappropriating funds in order to help people get into some homes. Is that short term? Is that long term? I don't know. We'll ask Ms. Hadaway when she comes in exactly the programs, but the program exists because of the fact that there's so many disparities right now.
Well, actually, to answer your question, there's a quote in this article as far as the long-term strategy. It says long-term strategy efforts must include a broad ecosystem approach. These funding opportunities have been created in alignment with recommendations provided through the 2021 Assessment of Housing Affordability Needs and Priorities report as a part of a cross-sector strategy aimed to address the greater Omaha Metro's affordable housing shortage. So to your point, Paul, I do think that they have a better grasp on what real affordable housing will look like. And this 2021 assessment on affordable housing of Omaha and Council Bluffs is kind of a inkling into that.
And what other thing is have it be safe, because sometimes the housing we can afford is raggedy. And so there's got to be a happy medium there where we can get safe, clean, affordable housing for people. I think if you work a 30 to 40 hour a week job, there's no reason for you not to be able to get into a clean, safe space.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, because there are some $500 apartments out there, but you don't necessarily want to stay there. You don't want to roommate with the roaches over there. So
and the rats.
Hey, just jumping in the chat real quick. Amy Hutflis gives us a good morning, familia. Good morning to you as well. Brianna Full says, I think I heard there will be a second round of rental assistance in Omaha for folks who have already gotten it before. We've been talking a lot about this money that's supposed to be coming for rental assistance that Pete Ricketts kept on pushing back. And there's some people now that are trying to get around that so we can use those funds. Black Dynamite says, I found a house for rent online, 2-bed, 2-bath at $2,200. A whole bunch of twos in there. With it being MP Dodge as the management, and that amount of rent has been up for rent. It's been up for rent for about a month and a half. So $2,200 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. What area was that in?
Yeah, my question exactly. Where is that?
Yeah, I've been looking at rents to try to help out a friend of the family, and they're pricey. She's elderly, it's a mess. It's if you want something, a 1-bedroom, you're not going to get a 1-bedroom less than $700 a month. And if you're on a fixed income, that's more than a third of your income.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying.
Actually, you brought up a good point too with the elderly, because as much as we talk about this, I haven't really thought about the elderly. But there was a time where my wife and I were struggling to help her grandmother find housing, and those retirement homes and assisted living facilities, those can get kind of costly as well, especially if you're on a retirement and Medicaid and you only got about $500 a month to even go towards your insurance, because you're only making $1,000, $1,200 a month. From your retirement and from Social Security. How do you live off that? How do it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah,
that's definitely rough. So we'll definitely see, and that's something that I'm kind of interested in too. There's I got some people that are getting a little older in my family that live here, and we're constantly on the lookout. They're good now, but we need to keep looking, because things change, and you got to find affordability everywhere you can, especially when there's not a lot of income happening. So it goes all around, and I think this is just one of those evergreen things we'll keep talking about all the time. Black Dynamite says south of downtown, Old Market area. That's the South downtown is really coming up strong. The little Bohemia area, little Italy, all those areas are used to be for about 5-6 years ago, I had a friend that was staying over in the Little Italy area for $600 a month, a 1-bedroom, and those are up to 12 now. So that's just what it's going to be. Miss Erica Fell says not everyone who qualifies can actually get on Section 8. My mother got $670 a month Social Security when she was fighting cancer. If she wasn't on Section 8, it wouldn't have been a problem. If she wasn't on Section 8, it wouldn't have been a problem. Okay, not
Well,
everyone who
Section 8,
qualifies.
yeah, that Section 8, they only have certain times where they take applications. Usually there's a lengthy waiting list, sometimes 2 to 3 years waiting list, depending. Section 8 is not just, I don't make this amount of money, I'm gonna go get on Section 8. It doesn't work that way. So you've got a lot of people who are on waiting lists who've got nowhere to go. And, with the village, like we were talking about with pushing young people out at 18, a lot of times we're not taking care of our elders the way we used to either. We used to all be housed under one roof, helping each other out. The elders would take care of the younger children while the adults worked, and things. We're not doing that anymore. Grandma is 45. She in the club.
Or still working.
Or still working. And then they kept raising the retirement age for Social Security.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that too. There's a lot of us who are going to be working till age 67 or older because we want to maximize our ability to get the most from our Social Security. So
yeah. Also, in regards to Section 8, there are less and less Section 8 properties available in North Omaha. A lot of the properties that are being qualified and that they're doing Section 8 for are increasingly out west, which means if you are applying for Section 8, then you have to, go out west. And if you're on Section 8, what does your transportation situation look like? Are you gonna have to move away from your doctor? You have to move away from your job? Like what does that really mean? Exactly. Your community. What does that really mean?
So true. Yeah, let's take a quick break here. 7:51. If you guys are keeping track of this, we got somewhere to be at 8:00. You got about 9 minutes, and let's keep on talking about it. Right before we go to that, let's jump in the chat real quick. Tanaya Patterson says there was a $600 one bed in Dundee I called about. Let's just say I knew I wasn't going to get the apartment when I showed up to see it. Still got a lot of that.
A lot of redlining still going on.
Dundee.
Still has a redlining conversation we still got to definitely have. We have some people that want to talk about it here in the chat, so we'll definitely get together there. Miss Erica Felt says, I got evicted a few times before I finally got to the front of the list back in the day. I had a 1-bedroom apartment on 36th and Dodge for $350 a month. That's still there, and now it's $1,200 a month.
Yeah, man.
Good Lord.
Probably in the same condition.
For a 1-bedroom.
For a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I lucked up with my apartment. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I lucked up, and I will be remaining in that apartment until death do us part.
Well, listen, let me tell you, we talk about this all the time. You had a hookup. You had somebody you knew. And got in there. And we talk about this all the time. That's really kind of the only way any of us have been able to get anywhere in the past for a while now, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to know somebody who knows somebody.
Which makes it all the more important to own something in the first place.
There you
go. And help your people out when you get it.
That's the real boss move.
That's the real boss move. Set somebody up. Speaking of boss move, we're going to take a little sniffing of the coffee bean, take a little cleansing of the palate. We'll come back. Stay tuned. Michelle Troxclair's Soapbox Moment is coming up at 8:00. You do not want to miss that second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning. Coming up, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich is going down. This one is for the grandmas in the club. Check it out. Be right back. We're back for Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning. I was muted.
In the morning.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, the three agreeos in the house. Star Trek Rich in the back, in the cut, making it happen. Yeah, man. We are back Wednesday, the 16th. It is the middle of the month already of March. Anybody going on any trips? Let us know in the chat. You got any springtime travel plans going on? Because I do love traveling in the spring. I fall in love with everywhere I'm at in the springtime.
Man, it's a beautiful thing. I will let the people know I will be in Omaha in the spring.
Hey,
kind of late April. I'll be making an appearance. So yeah,
you gonna pop in?
Yeah, real quick. It's a wedding going down. Actually, I'll be in Omaha a couple times this year for a wedding. It's a wedding I'll be DJing in September as well. So
yeah, there you go. Okay. We're gonna have some first Sky Omaha parties going on.
Oh yeah,
man,
it's going down, man.
Gotta make it happen. How's that coffee treating you over there, Michelle? You said you made the best cup of coffee in your life.
Man, in my life this morning.
They're thinking about it.
The right amount of sugar and cream. You know, it wasn't too strong, wasn't too bitter, wasn't too sweet. It was absolutely perfect.
Okay.
In every way.
Okay. Well, hopefully that'll lead to a well energized soapbox moment. Looking forward to that.
Man, I'm finna
put it on us.
Oh yeah, especially here in this Women's History Month.
It's Women's History Month.
Yeah, yes. I already know Michelle has a doozy for us, man. So if you're just now tuning in, welcome. First Sky Omaha. Definitely look out for that.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha, and this is the three agreeos in the house. As you can see, we got Michelle Troxclair on this Wednesday, putting she in the nanigans. Let's do a little rundown of some of the stories that we got coming up. Just a little hot take on what we got coming up on the second hour, if you will.
Yeah, man. Oh man, it is quickly reaching the halfway point of the show already. Yeah. As Pop says all the time, it goes by quickly. So yes, as we prepare for the second hour, as I mentioned, we will be having Michelle Troxclair Soapbox Moment coming up. So look out for that. But we also will be having a couple other things to talk about. Definitely diving into this program at Omaha North, $1,000 for passing a calculus test. I'm all for that. Man. Yeah. So we'll be talking about that coming up, especially for all the parents out there of high school age children. We'll give you some valuable information, get some money into these youth's pockets.
Cash money.
Yeah, man. Also, speaking of cash money, free tuition. I like the sound of that. That's the new, I guess the new announcement coming out of UNL.
The extended announcement.
Yeah, man.
Free for a certain amount of money that you made a year, and now they've extended that.
Oh yeah, it goes further. It goes further. So again, it's the threshold of income that there was a requirement for UNL's free tuition program is now, as Paul just mentioned, being expanded. So we'll talk about that, getting into some education things.
Yeah.
And then also we have some more money to talk about. There's about $250 million that could possibly be making its way into North and South Omaha as a result of COVID-19 recovery funds that are out there still. So we'll be talking about that and more coming up. And if there's anything on your hearts and your minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat and let us know, and we can get into that if possible as well. But as Leah Keister says, can't wait for the soapbox moment this morning. We're also looking forward to that. But in the meantime, in between time, just about 2 minutes, actually now a minute left in this first hour. So again, thank y'all for all tuning in to First Sky Omaha.
That's right. We really appreciate it. Mr. Kafel says, my son is already in the calculus program. Great adults running it.
Okay.
That's what's up. I like the fact that they're giving away cash money. I read some of the comments. People are like, well, why is it just the black kids?
Well, I know there's been some pushback on that. And
of course.
You know what? Because for years, it wasn't the black kids.
Somebody
period.
In the chat, they were like, no, because of disparities.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I know Tyson is real mad about now. Man. He's like, I should have went to North. Because I'd have passed that.
Hey.
There you go. Cash money works every time.
My son
for the 99 and the 2000.
Cash money is an army, Betty in the Navy. Hey,
Oh no!
what was real cool about that too is that it's not a scholarship. They could use that money for what they want to use it for. So I can't wait to talk about that, man. It's a good story behind it too. I'm really like the idea and like the reason why it was done and all that. And it makes you feel good that they're coming up. I mean, that's some practical incentive right there. That's just practical.
Yes, indeed.
Well, before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into this COVID money. Yeah. We'll start off this conversation with the biggest bag, $250 million.
Okay. Now, is this ARPA funds we talking about
here? No, actually.
So we still got some millions coming.
Yeah, well.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the ARPA fund. So this is more millions on top of the $450 million that's already been asked by our brothers Wayne and McKinney. Nebraska will put $250 million into boosting North and South Omaha and other pockets of poverty under a COVID recovery proposal, which is being advanced through the legislature's Appropriations Committee. Committee members voted unanimously to approve a package of projects totaling nearly $1.3 billion with a B, y'all, $1 billion and benefiting all
$1 billion.
Yes, $1.3 billion. The plan will use almost all of the $1.4 billion in federal COVID recovery money that the state is getting through the American Rescue Plan Act. But again, the committee left more than $3 billion of requests on the cutting room floor, including some of the ideas put forth by Governor Pete Ricketts himself and many bills offered by state lawmakers. One state lawmaker, Robert Hilkeman of Omaha, says, I knew going in we would have more disappointed people than happy people. Certainly not everything I wanted I got funded. The committee plan falls short of the $450 million. So there's an update in that. Again, the plan falls short of the $450 million investment that Senators Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney have proposed as a way to transform the area. So again, that $450 million is not, I guess, what we're going to be getting. The two North Omaha senators has said the federal COVID money offered a once-in-a-lifetime chance to help North Omaha recover from the pandemic and improve the lives of area residents. They later joined forces with Tony Vargas, who proposed a similar plan for South Omaha. So as of right now, the legislature is expected to debate LB 1024, which is the Wayne and McKinney proposal, this week after finishing the first round of debate on regular budget bills. The COVID package is slated for debate after lawmakers wrap up the budget. So again, our fight for that $450 million to come to the north and south side is not quite dead, but there is a fight going on right now in the legislature, and definitely looking forward to those rounds of debate. But I'm kind of curious. With all this, it seems like there's a lot of proposals, so nothing necessarily concrete seems to be on the floor quite yet. And I do feel like as this moves through the committees, appropriations committees, and all the other committees, that it needs to, is going to change. I don't think we're going to get the full $450 million, and two, I don't think what we're seeing right now will be exactly what is going to end up being.
Yeah, this money that they're talking about right now, I think you're right. I think it's not even really going to be. They're not going to even use it on a lot of the things that the brothers proposed. And also, they've already kind of split it down the middle, and now they're splitting it between the two sides. So they definitely were asking for $450 million for the north side specifically. So we got to see what this fight's going to bring, and we'd love to have the brothers on, but they're in the middle of the fight, so we're gonna have them on after the fight gets done, after the session, and talk about what happened and the progress and what's going on here. In the chat tonight, Patterson says, them types complaining about the math test prizes never complain about red line school districts with $1,000 iPads and MacBooks and other high dollar aids passed out to all the students. But as soon as it has something to do with mostly black students, they start whining. Talking about that calculus situation.
We'll get into that.
Sarah Caffell says that she says, I don't think you have to attend North now to be in it. They really expanded the perimeters since initial announcement.
Okay.
Talking about that calculus, that $1,000 calculus program. So we'll definitely be checking out. Carol Blood in the house. What's happening? Carol Blood for governor says it's all proposed until it's on final reading. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. So Well, the fight continues on that. Brianna Full in the House says they're debating the budget for the next 2 weeks or so. The plans will change drastically. Drastically change over that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what
Yeah.
Although this proposal is, I think, as you mentioned, Paul, this is going to continue to be sliced up and get further and further from the initial vision that brothers Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne put forth. So, how much of that vision will remain intact? As Carol Blood put some respect on her name, Senator Carol Blood is talking about the final reading. Well, once we get to that point, I don't know how much of the original plan will be intact, and I'm kind of worried about that. But as you mentioned, Paul, the slicing during Saturday's session, as of this past Saturday, Vargas has offered a proposal to allocate $150 million of the ARPA funds to South Omaha, and then at least $100 million of that will go to North and South Omaha. So there's a lot of slicing of the pie going on. So we'll definitely continue to keep our eyes on this. And again, if you feel like you don't want to quite leave this up to just your elected officials, please write a letter. Please voice your opinion. Have your voice be heard. Let your mind be free on this to kind of help apply pressure.
Speaking of letting your voice be heard, it is voting season, so you guys got to get registered. Get ready to do that. In the chat, we have Senator Carol Blood, who's running for governor. Definitely check her whole platform out. We had her on the show at one point. We need to have her on again. Definitely talk about what's going on there. And remember that's our candidate, y'all. So definitely check her out. Also, Brianna Full in the chat, friend for Sky Omaha, is running for school board. And brother Melvin Mohammed is also running for school board. So a couple of the friends of First Sky Omaha running for offices. It is voting time. Get yourself registered. Get your early vote in if you can. And just remember that in the north side, they moved a whole bunch of polling stations all around. We got to go back and check and see where we're at now.
Yeah, man.
And make sure that's happening. Got a good morning from Kimmer. Got a good morning from Kimmer Snipes. We'll have some more information on that. As a matter of fact, I meant to pull the Culture House has a post out that says a bunch of important dates, has a bunch of important dates on it. So it's a little graphic that they have that has all the dates for when you need to, deadline for registration and everything else on it. So we'll definitely pull that, put that back in the chat. And anybody has any information there, League of Women Voters, anybody who's attached, let us know and help us to spread the word here, not just with the friends of, but even beyond. And we'll definitely get it moving. Oh. Somebody said they couldn't wait for the soapbox moment. Sounds like you don't have to now.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, there's other music going on.
Is that a phone?
It might be. And I can't reach it. Okay. Oh, Lord Jesus. Anyway, I forgot to put on silent.
Yeah, go ahead and get the phone.
Okay.
Please do that so we can.
Okay, shut up. Okay. We all know the name Katherine Johnson, I believe. Hello. We all know the name Katherine Johnson. She was portrayed by the wonderful, the amazing Taraji P. Henson in the movie Hidden Figures. And what made that such an iconic role in such an amazing movie and an important movie was the fact that Katherine Johnson not only was a woman, but a Black woman who developed the calculations that made it possible for the United States to be the first to make it and land on the moon. What we don't know is there are so many other women who have contributed in science and math and technology that have been unsung heroes. One you may not be familiar with, who I was very surprised to learn about at one time, was Hedy Lamarr. Hedy Lamarr was actually born in Austria in 1914, and she came to the U.S. and became a very popular, well-known film actress. One of her first films was in 1938, so that tells you how long ago this was. She was one of the bombshell pinup beauties, all of that. And what people don't know about her was that she was also an amazing math genius. And she, along with composer George Antheil, developed a radio guidance system for the Allied torpedoes that were used during World War II, and used spread spectrum and frequency hopping technology to defeat the threat of jamming by Axis powers. So this is huge. Now, why am I talking about it now? This was World War II technology. But what you may not know is the U.S. Navy did not adopt a lot of her technology that she developed until the 1960s. And the principles of her technology are what were incorporated and used to develop Bluetooth and GPS technology. So without Hedy Lamarr, you would have no Bluetooth and no GPS. So let me be clear on that. So what's happened over the years, many times, and in the case of Katherine Johnson as well, we learn about these women much later, because at the time that these things were taking place, men took credit. They were in the spotlight and took credit for all of these things. And so the bad thing is that Hedy Lamarr didn't make a dime from this, really. She pretty much died penniless. Many years later, she was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 2014. She died in 2000. So this was never lauded during her time. And this has happened to a lot of women. And the reason it's happened to a lot of women is because women throughout history have been discouraged from getting into the STEM programming and things. The narrative that women lack the cognitive ability, the wherewithal to process complex ideas, was perpetuated throughout history in education, well, really from the womb on. And so the roles that women were expected to play as domestics said, okay, they really don't need to know these things. They don't need to learn how to process this type of information. They don't need to learn math except for recipes. And so the way girls were educated, women my age and older definitely know this. The way we were educated was not only in school, but at home. And at home, the toys we were given, absolutely ridiculous. Little girls were often given dolls, of course, tea sets, mini kitchen sets, those easy bake ovens, makeup and little fashion stuff to play dress up. These were the toys we were given at home. Frequently, when we went to go play outside, we weren't supposed to get dirty, mess up our hair, and little Black girls weren't supposed to get wet, get our hair wet, and all of that kind of thing. That hinders learning processes. Boys' toys, and I noticed this because I grew up around a bunch of little boys. Boys got Tinker Toys, Legos, Lincoln Logs. They got board games like Monopoly. We got Old Maid. For those of you who are my age, y'all remember that was a little card game, and one of the cards was an old spinster woman on it. And if you got stuck with that card, you lost the game, because there was no pair for her. She couldn't pair up. She didn't get married, so to speak. So we had those awful games while boys were figuring out things. They got bug jugs. They got to go little science kits. They got telescopes and microscopes and stuff like that. Girls didn't get those things. And it's still kind of prevalent today. If you look at the toys advertised for little girls, it hasn't gotten that much better over time. What is the purpose of My Little Pony and Strawberry Shortcake? What is the purpose of those toys? They really have none other than imaginative pretend play, maybe. But what they are playing is not conducive to pushing girls towards STEM programs. And then you get the girls in schools. And many times teachers, through little things that they say, they may not even be fully aware, really tell little girls that math isn't their thing, or that science isn't their thing. So let me be clear. The United States still engages in this type of discriminatory practice when it comes to girls. And this is new information, But according to the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, this just came out yesterday, found that 15-year-old girls around the world outperform boys in science, except for in the United States, Britain, and Canada. So what does that say about our educational system here? When we only make up 24% of the jobs out there in technology, math, and science, and engineering. 24%. Women are the majority of the population in this country. We are over 50% of the population of this country, but we only make up a quarter of those jobs in those fields. So we are woefully behind the rest of the developed world in terms of getting women into those fields. It has been purposeful. It has been hindering. And to be honest with you, that is one of the reasons we are falling behind in the world. We are 26th in the world in math and science for high school students, 26th. And so when they're pushing these STEM programs, you have to make sure they're pushing these STEM programs, not just for little boys, but for little girls as well. I have to give a shout out to a lot of these women out here who are really doing side programming to help supplement what's going on in our public school system. Tiffany Gamble with She Code, primarily focusing on little Black girls, learning that extremely wonderful field that can be very lucrative and very uplifting to a community. We all know that good wages are paid to people in those fields. And how come our little girls are not being steered toward that? So I just wanted to say this. If you have a little girl, make sure you are encouraging her to play things that are stimulating mentally, that build her self-esteem. Because other data shows that little girls with strong self-worth and strong self-esteem tend to go into those fields and be comfortable and confident. I started to make a whole new word. But we need to make sure that our girls aren't being hindered in their play. Let them get dirty. I wanted a bug jug so bad when I was a little girl. I wanted a bug jug so I could go out and catch butterflies and study butterflies and mount them and all of that. Little neighbor across the street had one, so I was with him all the time doing his. It was interesting that I was so discouraged from doing those kinds of things. You know, you weren't supposed to get your dress dirty. Let little girls get dirty. Let them mess up their hair. Playing in dirt is a learning experience that they need to have. Get them boys' toys. Go to the little boys section. Get them boys' toys. It's important. Playing with Legos and those building toys helps us build those parts of the brain that calculate. So if you have little girls at home, start it at home. Start it at home. In third grade, my daughter was told by a teacher that she wasn't any good in math, even though she had been part of the Benjamin Banneker program that she was able to go to the College of St. Mary's for a math program there. She was told by a teacher she wasn't good at math. And from that point on, she really thought she was not good at math. Our teachers are so powerful. The words that they say are so incredibly important. So we need to be encouraging our kids all the time. You can do whatever you set your mind to. And make sure you give them the tools to do it. That's your job as a parent, to prepare them for whatever field they choose. And our little girls need to be prepared. And so I could go on and on and on, but I'm not. I'm finna sit back here and end my soapbox moment today, and we can have some further discussions in the chat. So there's that.
There you go.
Very nice.
There you go.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Appreciate that. Soapbox Moment for sure. I'm gonna jump right in the chat if y'all don't mind. Miss Erica Felt, going back talking about I wanted to say Headley so bad when you said Hedy Lamarr. Headley.
You going to blazing saddles on me?
When you said Hedy Lamarr, I started cracking up. I wanted to say it so bad. Ms. Erica Felt says, I read she didn't want to be an actress, but it gave her access to men who were fascinated with her enough to give audience to her intentions, but they quickly were intimidated by her and left her. I read about her being also, she did some spy work as well. So she was also a spy on top of a international actress and model and mathematician and inventor. Hedy was cold-blooded. Ms. Erica Fell says it's very prevalent as parents to tell child care and preschool teachers that their boys are not to play with dolls or kitchens and that their girls better not get dirt in their hair.
Yeah, so, that's actually kind of a thing on social media now. Like parents, talking about not getting their young boys kitchens, and then talk about how the young boys who don't get kitchens turn into men who eat microwave hot dogs for dinner every night.
I got a personal story with that. Jahi wanted an easy bake oven. And his father was like, don't get him no easy bake oven. And guess who got a hand-me-down easy bake oven? Kayla went in her closet because she kept hers.
All right.
Here you go, Jahi.
Look at him now. That's what I'm saying. Look at him now.
And now he's Chef Boy Jahi.
That's right. So yeah, it goes a little bit both ways. I think boys should be able to play with dolls, but girls also need to be steered towards thinking outside of domestic type work. And that's the problem. They were only given those toys because they were being steered towards just being mothers and housewives. Yeah. And women are in the workforce. We need to be learning other things.
Well, to me too, it also goes to the fact that everybody's being steered for everything. Kids are in school to be steered to be workers. Period. So you know what I'm saying. The inculcation of what society decides they want to teach their children is based on what society is doing, and that's what they want to teach. So you're right. They all get steered in a bunch of different kinds of ways. I was reading something about little boys and dolls with that, and the importance of dolls, because you mentioned dolls earlier. And you were like, what is strawberry shortcake for? And I was like, I think that some of that stuff, from what I understand, has to do with emotional development, has to do with how practicing on how to deal with people, and some things that some little boys need to be on too. You know what I'm saying? So I think it, like you said, it goes both ways. It goes every way.
It goes both ways. The problem with girls steering them towards just that is they don't take advantage of career opportunities that would help economically.
Right.
That's the problem with that. And the country is missing out on a source of innovation.
Yeah.
That could really propel us. It's insidious. When I saw that just Tuesday, it came out that, we were the only ones that, besides Canada and Britain, where our girls were not excelling in math and science like other countries around the world.
And you know what's crazy to me too, when I'm thinking about like you when you mentioned that strawberry shortcake doll, you said maybe it helps with like imagination and so on. I think that it's little girls get steered towards these things that engage the imagination a lot. Imagination is very important for intelligence in the first place. You match that imagination up with those science skills, and then you get inventors and people like that. So that's what I'm pulling from this a lot, is that man, girls ought to be the first ones that are jumping in here. I think like you said, that self-esteem and the inventiveness and the ability to imagine and then apply that to some actual STEM skills. We're gonna be on Mars chilling.
I think we need to definitely make sure girls have access to the same toys as little boys and vice versa. And that's where this needs to go. Because I was growing up, I had a household full of boys. I was able to play with those kind of toys. And at the same time, they played Barbies and paper dolls with me. So I remember I had my Barbie dolls and stuff, and we were doing our own furniture. We cut up a Pringles can to make the chairs. We turned the old chess set board. It was made out of marble into Barbie's dance floor. And we had the paper and
right.
Barbie
Had
in
the
a
whole
ball
club.
as her disco ball. Yes. So we were able to use those things to be very creative. But I also got dirty a lot. You know, I was out playing with the boys. I was out, playing kickball and, and roughhousing and playing in the dirt looking for bugs and making mud pies and stuff like that. But a lot of times our girls are discouraged from doing those things. And that type of play is really important. Climbing trees and things, that's important. That's brain development.
And physical development.
And physical development.
Shout out to Zenith Hall Tibbs, who allowed all the mud play and everything that went on back in the day. She says, fun fact, the policeman who shot Vivian Strong, precipitating the 1969 quote unquote riots in Omaha, was allegedly Hedy Lamarr's son. That's interesting. Interesting fact. Also, Tiffany Gamble was in the chat while you were on your soapbox. And so she thanks you for that. She says, we sure are. It's embarrassing talking about the place that we are as far as math and science in the world, and so on and so forth. So she was there. Tanaya Patterson says, patriarchy still on Fort Knox in these places. For sure. Precious McKesson in the house. What's happening, Precious?
History making P.
History making P. She says, I agree, Michelle. My daughter is over at UNMC as a senior studying in the lab and researching cadavers. She's going to be a hell of a doctor. That's what's up.
There you go.
I have to talk about the connection between music and math and technology and everything. All of the studies show that people who are musically inclined or who are trained in music, that part of the brain is the same part that is mathematically and scientifically inclined. And one of my very good friends, Michelle Becker, who is a fantastic musician, singer, all of that, she works in biology research at UNMC.
Straight science.
Yes. So, just learning the gifts that our children have and really supporting those gifts and stimulating them from a very young age into finding what those gifts are and giving them all the tools so that they can really explore. That's what's important. We don't need to hinder either gender in exploring what their gifts are.
Word. With that. Miss Erica Fell says, intentions equals inventions. I like it. Miss Erica Fell says, dolls allow children to role play, which guides them to make sense of their world. Listen to their conversations with themselves. When they have a doll, they're really processing a lot. That's what I'm saying. I think there is value in doll play for sure. For little girls, I think it really builds their a sense of social intelligence and imagination. And it gives you practice on how it is you're going to interact with humans. I think little boys need that too, for real.
Yeah, dolls in and of themselves are not bad for play, but when you only allow that with with one gender, that's the problem.
Right.
Yes, boys need to play with dolls, girls need to play with dolls, but girls also need to play with Legos.
Right.
They need to have access to different kinds of toys.
For sure. It's the cutting off of the don't play with that, play with this thing is messed. That's what's messed up. Kimmer Snipes says, I thought my mama was crazy because sure bought me boys' toys as a kid. That sounds so wrong. Burr as an adult, but as an adult, I'm grateful. Very, very, very true. Pop says music is math.
It
That's
is.
right.
It is. Definitely.
Precious says, shout out to Girls Inc. for expanding my daughters to STEM. Expose my daughters to STEM. That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Girls Inc.
Yeah. It's incredibly important. And, they may not ever go into an engineering field or anything like that, but it helps in other aspects of brain development and cognitive ability and critical thinking, which is important in every aspect of their lives. So we need to make sure, and the other thing I just touched on very briefly are the little things we say to little girls, that hinder them in so many ways. It's little microaggressions. We talk about it in terms of race, but it also happens in gender.
Oh yeah.
So we have to really watch that and make sure that we are always encouraging our girls to be their best selves. I cannot imagine what would happen if we just continued this line of the way we speak to girls and the way we treat our little girls into the future. We're continually falling behind, continually. And so in the future, we could be 50th very shortly if we don't stop this trajectory.
27th is bad enough.
So yeah, we've got to do something about that. And little boys, the reason we have this toxic masculinity thing going on is because we don't allow them to be in touch with that piece of themselves, which is so important for coping skills and emotional development.
Yep.
So true.
Which actually leads to a lot to the violence that you're saying with the toxic masculinity. It's across the board, man. We keep putting the youth in the boxes that we allow society to put us in.
Yep. Precious said, shout out to the women in Omaha teaching tech, Adonna Bryant and Tiffany Gamble. Shout out to them.
Yes,
also,
indeed.
Ms. Erica Fell says, since children don't use their genitals to play with toys, there's no such thing as girls or boys' toys in my home.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, it is 8.
There you go.
It is 8:30 right now. We don't believe in the concept of time, but it is 8:30 if you have somewhere to be at 9. We got about a half hour left in the show. And great soapbox moment, by the way. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for all your comments. Let's take a quick break and come back and jump back into a little bit more conversation before we get to the haps. It is Wednesday, the 16th, 2022. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, and Michelle Troxclair, the three of griots, back again. The she and the nanigans. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. What up? First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. It's going down with the three of griots right now. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, who's still on mute. Michelle Troxclair. It's going down. Hey, we're got a little moment here for a Starfleet daily meditation. Buddy likes to call Trekkie words of wisdom. Today is "You Won't Last Long Banging Into Walls" by Geordie LaForge, the dude with the cool sunglasses.
Yes.
His buddy like to call.
Or is it just a sunglass? This is
oh yeah, my bad. Geordie LaForge put some respect on his name. Geordie, you won't last long banging into walls. This is very true.
It still is a definition of insanity.
Yes, indeed. I try not to bang into walls.
Yeah. Usually, if I bang into a wall, it only takes one time. So
I
Well,
I usually try to steer clear.
If I can help it.
Thanks for everybody that's joining into the chat. There's so many good comments going on. Margot Juarez in the house. Thanks for these important topics discussions. I will check more on STEM programs and OPS. I am the board member for Subdistrict 8. Have a great day. Okay.
That's actually, I don't think I've seen that name too much in the chat. So welcome. Welcome. And glad you're enjoying those conversations. Actually, let's keep it moving because we do have 30 minutes left in the show. And there are a few other stories that are actually related to some of this that I wanted to dive into. And while we're giving our kudos and celebrating women, especially Black women in the Omaha area, I also wanted to dive into this USA Today article and give some shout outs to another sister making headway and making moves and kind of carving out her own lane and writing her name in history books. Talking about Miss Carmen Tapio, who is actually being recognized by USA Today as one of the Women of the Year. So that's definitely big. Again, getting national recognition for the work that she's doing right in Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah. Go ahead and clap it up. Clap it up. If you're not familiar, again, if you're not familiar, Ms. Carmen Tapio is the CEO of North End Teleservices right here in Omaha, and also a trailblazer in helping and assisting other Black women specifically get a leg up in life, man. Again, Tapio, who is the founder and CEO of not only North End Teleservices, but North End Teleservices is the largest Black-owned business in Nebraska. So not only is she, again, a CEO of a teleservices company, but one of the largest Black-owned businesses in the state, and actually has a business located in an area that's historically underutilized business zone in North Omaha. Again, there's plenty of those in the community, but she is one of the people trying to bring business and attention to that area and getting recognized her just due, for that. She says, we hear about the challenges of finding qualified people all the time. Some companies have gone so far as to say there are no people of color who can do jobs in their industry. We can't find you, quote unquote, is not a good excuse, she says. And in fact, it's a really stupid excuse, in my opinion. And that's one of the things that Tapio is doing with her Nebraska Black Women United organization that she created back in 2021. It is a network where women can share information and education and find mentors. And she says that the whole goal of this Black Women United organization is to make sure that women of color in her state would never be forgotten when companies went looking to hire. She says in a Midwestern state, when people of color think of moving here, they ask, is there anyone who looks like me? And well, the answer is yes. So let's
there
find
are Black people in Nebraska.
Yes.
And we again, get that all the time.
Man, out here in Atlanta, I have that conversation a lot. And yes, we're out there. We're out there. And for Nebraska's Black Women's United's first event, Tapio invited 100 women. The response she received was actually tenfold. More than 225 women came, and for the second event, that number doubled to more than 500 in less than a year. Tapio said Nebraska Black Women United has become more than a nexus for women. It is also a resource for the community. So again, big shout out to Miss Tapio, not only for the work that she's doing, but the recognition she's receiving as a result, again, being recognized as USA's Today's Women of the Year honoree.
That's what's up.
Congratulations. Love to see it.
Yeah, man. And I've heard a lot about North End Teleservices doing some big things in the community. I think I did hear that they're the largest Black-owned business, but I did not know about this Nebraska Black Women's United. That's definitely a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to join that.
There you go.
Yes.
She's also one of the three Black women that's doing some development over in North Omaha, 24th and Lake Street area. She's one of those dynamic three that are putting together some properties and some businesses and all kinds of stuff that's going on there. So I think one of the other partners is owner of a Black-owned construction company, development company. So yeah, some good stuff. And then of course, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson, puts respect on her name, is part of that three. So very, very dynamic team there, and a dynamic woman, and congratulations to her. And congratulations to us in North Omaha because of her.
Yeah. And I got to shout out Simone Sanders getting her own show. It starts on May 7th. Yes.
On the Black Women Network.
Yeah. Peacock. Peacock is going up, man. MSNBC's its sister.
MSNBC.
Going up over, sister going over there.
Her and Tiffany Cross and Joy Reid, and they doing it over there.
And of course, and Amber Ruffin got her own show on Peacock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Omaha is getting out here big. Black women from Omaha. Yes,
it's a beautiful thing, and I love to see it. Believe Black women will save the world, man. So we're all here.
We trying.
We are here for it. And trying to assist.
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Precious McKesson in politics. Yes.
There you go. And I'm actually, would love to have Stacey Abrams on the show down here. So I'm, working on getting. I'm working on that, y'all. So bear with me. But I did want to dive into a couple quotes from Carmen real quick. But Paul, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I was just we were talking about Precious, and I was just saying congratulations to her for the new position as head of the Democratic Party here in Omaha. It's official. She's on.
Yeah,
so
man.
We'll be politicking with P here soon.
Yeah, again, Precious, we call her history making P around here for a reason. And she continues to make history, and that's actually why I wanted to dive into some of these quotes from Miss Tapio, because if you're going to make history, if you're going to be the first Black woman to do some things, you need to expect yourself to be the only one in the room. And she kind of gives some quotes and how to deal with that. That I wanted to dive into for any young women that might be watching this, that might find themselves in those footsteps in the future. It says, my advice to women who come to me who are discouraged or not sure about being the only one in the room, if it's not for you. She says, if not for you, or if not you, excuse me, then who? She says, I've sat in rooms my entire life where I was the only one. And if you're not there, then no one is. You being there. You're being there, as hard as it might be, as difficult as it might be, is important because you have the ability to change that going forward. As she says, but it's not enough to just be in the room. You have to use your voice. You have to use your leadership skills. You have to teach and demand change.
Come on with the quotes.
There you go. So yeah, I feel like that was something poignant that needed to be shared, man. Big shout out to Miss Tapio, and definitely deserving of the recognition she's receiving.
Love it. I love it.
Oh boy.
Want to make a correction. Thank you, Miss Snipes, for correcting me on that. Precious McKesson is for all of Nebraska, not just Omaha, head of the Democratic Party. So it's going down. She also says, Precious says, thanks everyone. I'm excited. Officially back March 26th. Be politicking with P y'all.
Yeah, we gonna party and celebrate.
This is gonna be a whole spring and summer of celebration. I can tell you that.
No, yeah.
Look, we went blue. She helped turn District 2 blue since 2008.
Yeah,
I think we've been blue since putting in that work. And Lancaster County went blue when Obama was running. Let's get Lancaster back blue. Let's yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully we can see like what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia. Remember, Georgia was a whole red state, and now they swinging kind of blue. So we can only hope.
They done swung.
We can only hope.
They're trying to swing back, but
they trying, but they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it.
Black Dynamite says, "Buddy, can you get Mayor Miss Keisha to teach Mean Gene a thing or two?"
Or not? We'll see. We'll definitely love to get Miss Keisha on too if we could.
Miss Snipes says, as a Black leader not in North Omaha, I often am the only one in the room. Dr. Logan deals with this as well. So community should remember that when supporting these women. There's a level of trauma that comes with that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good thing too. A good thing to remember for sure. We focus a lot on North Omaha over here, but we got folks in South Omaha. We got leaders, and new leaders coming. I ain't supposed to say nothing. We got leaders coming through that are going to be the only person in the room, and that are in the room now that way. Precious, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of efforts, and we got to give some extra support to these women that are in the rooms alone, because you're right. It can be. I can't imagine the trauma of that.
Yeah, as Precious says, it's a team effort. She says, "I'm ready to work with everyone." So yeah, let's.
And Black men must be supportive too, because when I find out I'm the only Black woman in the room and there's a bunch of Black men, a lot of times that's rough too. So a lot of misogyny going on in those rooms as well.
Interesting.
We got to support. Teamwork makes the dream work, man.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, before we get to the next story, I just want to acknowledge something in the chat that I saw on the Friends of First Sky Omaha page that we have not talked about yet. We probably can talk about that on Friday. Wanda Lewis is saying, "What does everybody think about the city wanting to limit the Douglas County Health Director on making the decisions on mask mandates?" There's a headline that was coming out that was saying that they wanted to take the power away from that person because, as we all know, Ricketts and them didn't agree with the mandates and things. So now they're trying to take the power away. Kimmerer Snipes in the chat says the mayor has way too much control as it is, and her behavior trickles down into all parts of the city. Very true, very true. And that's disgusting, putting politics money over people. Very, very true. So this is something that we can definitely dive into, talk about, do a little more research on to find out what the efforts are to get rid of this person so that they can just kind of make their own. I guess they want to make their own mask mandates or whatever, take the power away from the health department. Kind of silly to me, but we'll see why. And we'll talk about that Friday.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a surprise, though. I mean, we kind of saw that. That's the reason why we have the current health director that we had, because the last one that we had quit. She stepped down. She had enough because they did the same thing to her as far as going above her head and bucking her decisions and challenging her at every step early in the pandemic. So that's not a surprise. And yeah, we can definitely talk about that more on Friday because again, just about 15 minutes left in the show, and I did want to get into this high school program that we've been kind of talking about, man. Going back to the STEM situation, not just black girls, but little black boys need encouragement in the areas of science, technology, and math. Yeah. So engineering is the E in STEM and math. This latest program is definitely something that I wanted to talk about, and it seems like a lot of people in the chat are excited about as well. The novel approach to address racial inequity and inspire interest in mathematics for Black Omaha high school students. This is actually coming from a Chicago-based entrepreneur who will pay them to pass a calculus test. The program is called Alpha Mission Calculus Awards, and it is open to Black students at Omaha High School. So it's not just Omaha North, as someone had mentioned in the chat earlier. It is Omaha High School's grades 10, 11, and 12. Participants can sign up to learn calculus, take a test, and earn $1,000 if they pass. The money, as Paul mentioned earlier, is not a scholarship, and students can spend it in any way they wish for new technology, some new shoes, a car, whatever. Philanthropists, philanthropists, nonprofits, and politicians have all spent decades attempting to address Omaha's long history of racial inequity, but entrepreneur Robert Blackwell Jr. Thinks that empowering young people to put effort into a subject as difficult as calculus could be a part of the solution. Blackwell, who is Black, is the CEO of IT consulting firm EKI Digital and the founder of Alpha Mission, an organization working to strengthen Black business communities through partnerships and mentoring. He says, I benefited from a lot of great mentorship. I think all of us owe it to those who come before us to do something for those who are going to come after us. So definitely all about paying it forward. Definitely all about paying it forward, quite literally. Each one teach one, and I would definitely say if there's a stack, $1,000 up for grabs for a calculus test, I think I might have to put in that effort to go ahead and do that. And I will say a part of why young Black boys and girls don't go into that is because they aren't told that they can and don't believe that they can and really don't have the confidence that they're smart enough to figure it out. So if they have the incentive to actually put in some effort and they can pass that test, that actually might give them the confidence to actually just do it and be like, not only did I get this money, but I did pass this test, so maybe I can figure it out. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I am capable. Which then again, if you feel like you can, then you're more inclined to try.
That's another narrative that's been pushed in the classrooms, and that Black people lack cognitive ability.
It's a lie.
And the ability to logically process information. And that's why for so long they didn't allow Blacks to be quarterbacks and things like that.
This is kind of hard. It's kind of hard. Coaches, all of that.
It permeates so much of our society, that belief system, and we have got to get past that. And you're absolutely right, Buddy. I think that this is a wonderful program that will give some of our young people the confidence to say, you know what, I can process math. I can do that. I can be an engineer.
Yeah. I like the fact that it's a practical incentive. Just cash money, man. Cash money straight up, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I think the kids that are gonna, you know, that would pass and get that $1,000. Hopefully they don't go buy no shoes, buddy. But maybe they can put that money into some mutual funds or something like that. Do a little investing.
Buy an NFT, get some crypto.
Get it rolling,
And some of them might just be helping mama with that rent. Or helping the family with some of them bills.
There you go.
You know, and some of our kids, you know, a lot of them work jobs because they got to help out at home.
It's very true.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
So part of that story that really stuck out to me was the reason behind that investor had the idea in the first place, because he met someone that decided they wanted to, a young black guy that wanted to learn calculus, and he learned it. He taught himself over the summer, and he ended up working for this guy in later on in life. But I thought that was really interesting that he was amazed by the fact that this young black boy wanted to learn calculus and was like, I'm gonna just teach myself over the summer and just go ahead and do it like that. and it showed him something. It showed him probably a few things. Showed him that they weren't getting that in school. They showed him that he had the ability and desire of whatever it was that stimulated him to want to do that over the summer. He did. And then he thought, well, what's going to be the best stimulus here? Well, how about some cash? How about cash money? You know what I'm saying? Let's put a program together that just pays kids to do that. You know, because that's what it is. If you have the right incentive, then you do whatever it is that you want to do at that point.
Do what you got to do. You got the motivation.
What you got to do. So I like that it wasn't $100 in a library card. It was $1,000. It was a stack.
You
know,
old hard cash. A gift card to Walmart.
Cash money is an army, better yet a navy.
Hey,
get it going. So I really love this idea, really do.
Yeah, and again, if this is something that you enjoy and you like the idea of as well, and you have a student that is in the 10th, 11th, or 12th grades, then you can sign them up for this. There are applications available. 8 students are currently registered to participate, and registration closes on registration closed yesterday. So interested students can register by submitting their information on the Contact Us page on the Alpha Mission website. But again, registration closed March 15th. But unless your student is a senior, you can always look in the next year. There's that.
Yeah, put the thing in anyway. Tell them that you want that program back next time. You know,
or extend the program.
Yeah,
there are more people interested in this.
Get more people to donate to such programming.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If there's a recognized need for it and people applying, then there might be more money available. This is we're all for this. Again, we have a few people in the chat are saying that they have students and children already involved in it and are speaking highly of it. We'll definitely keep this in mind and try to get some people involved with this.
There you go. 8:52 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I'm gonna jump in the chat real quick. Kimmer Snipe says, Michelle, I'm gonna share a story with you one day about walking into a room full of black powerful men in Omaha. The only person who offered me a seat was on Congressman Bacon's staff. Yeah, that's rough. Josh Tate says they should give the health department the power, but more accountability as well. Health is super important.
Health is wealth, man.
Yep. Talking about that subject we're going to talk about on Friday about them trying to take the power away there. Black Dynamite says there's a documentary on Netflix that talks about the Boeing 737 MAX that crashed a few years back. To Michelle's point, they tried to say they didn't want to overload the minds of the flight crew from Ethiopian Airlines.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So, one of these days they're gonna figure out women are not dumb.
No, I mean, one of these days they're gonna figure out civilization came out of Africa. I mean, let's just take it back.
And that day has already passed. They figured out civilizations come from Africa. They just want to ignore that.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Black Dynamite says, I try to keep up with what's going on in Georgia, but I agree our mayor needs some lessons. Major. She is clueless when it comes to us. I knew that when I sat next to her at Big Mama's and listened to her brag about Omaha's unemployment rate.
Man.
I don't know how you were able to continue sitting next to her.
That part. But yes, Ms. Snipes, we do have a new mayor down here in Atlanta. Andre Dickens is his name. It's brother Andre Dickens.
Oh, what's your feel on him so far?
He seems cool. I did meet him at a community event. He's from the city. Like he definitely gives that down to earth vibe. He's like a pastor. Yeah, I look forward to having more conversation with him and kind of get to know him as I get more into the journalism and I get more embedded into the community down here. But yeah, Keisha is no longer the mayor. I would say I miss Keisha. I'll tell you that much.
We need Keisha still to come. Maybe Keisha start teaching some mayor classes now or something.
Man, I think she's, if I'm not mistaken, she's a political analyst on CNN now.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Mistaken. Yeah, I have to look into
it. She on Peacock? No, I'm just kidding.
Let me just say, they do need to teach classes on how to mayor. And these civics classes that they need to bring back, because let me tell you, we getting people in office that don't have a clue.
Coming out of the woodwork. Miss Snipes says she has a show now, so
yeah, we gotta check it out.
Yeah. So
in the meantime, we got about 5 minutes left in the show. It's time for the haps, y'all. So get
what's happening?
What's going on? Down here working on my bankhead bounce.
Hey. Time for the haps, y'all. That's the time when it's time to talk about some things that we think you ought to be checking out this week and this weekend. And time for you to tell us what you think we should be checking out and bigging up on the show as well. Let us know. In the meantime, Buddy, got some haps for the peoples?
Of course, man. Letting the people know that the March for Freedom for Brother Ernest Jackson is still going on. So yeah, definitely circle that on your calendars, mark your calendars, whatever you got to do. Saturday, March 26th, that is going down. The walk starts at Orchard Park, I believe, at 11 a.m. So again, it's still, what is it today? March 16th, 2022, and Brother Ernest Jackson is still not free. Brother Ed Poindexter is still not free. So again, big shout out to the family for inviting First Sky Omaha personally to come out and support that effort. So again, we would like to invite you, if you can make it out, please join us in that march for freedom for Brother Ernest Jackson. Yes. Also coming up, a big shout out to the Empowerment Network. There's a Magic Johnson is coming to the town, y'all.
Hey.
Oh
yeah, yes. The Empowerment Network will have the 15th anniversary featuring Irvin Magic Johnson, man. And big shout out to Magic Johnson, man. He actually, when I was in college, he had a couple delis on campus, and I just got to witness, his entrepreneurship firsthand. He actually came to campus a couple times, so this is huge, man. Irvin Magic Johnson is definitely an icon. I know as a West Coast native, Paul B, you all for it.
Come on, man. They used to call me Magic back in the day, bro.
Hey,
yeah. You want to know how I play ball? Magic Johnson's my dude.
Magic Allen. Magic Allen the fourth.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I can't wait. I got to come all the way to Omaha, Nebraska to meet Magic Johnson. That's cool. I'm with
man. There you go. So that goes down May 20th, Friday, May 20th from 8 to 5. It's the Empowerment Network's 15th anniversary Rebuilding the Village conference, man. So shout out to Empowerment Network.
Right,
Precious McKesson says, join the NDP Black Caucus on their page live Thursday at 6 p.m. We will have a candidate forum with Senator Carol Blood. Put some respect on her name, who is running for Nebraska governor. That's what's up. So put that on the calendar Thursday. What is it? Thursday at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Definitely check that. That's tomorrow we're talking about, right? That's tomorrow. NDP Black Caucus on their page, Facebook page. We're looking at Thursday at 6 p.m. Definitely check it out. And remember, it's voting time, y'all. We got to get registered, get ready, get all that stuff together. Yep.
Get right, because they're trying to get rid of your vote. So get right.
Right. If they can, if they have it their way. Also, a big weight in the Black Swan Theory. They're performing at the Jewel on March 26th. So you can't go wrong with a big weight in the Black Swan Theory show. So.
You cannot.
Yeah, big shout out to them. Let's see what else is going on. You got anything? Any of y'all?
I don't have anything right off the bat here. Got some things that's coming up at the Benson Theater that I'll talk about Friday. Some events that are happening over there. We got a play coming up, Choir Boy, that's happening in April.
Okay.
That our own Nick Whitcomb is the cat that's gonna be directing that. So
shout out to Nick, man. I went to school with Nick, man.
Did you?
Nick. Yeah, I've been knowing Nick since elementary, man. Shout out to
Nick.
Nick.
He's a young cat.
Oh yeah, he is. But he get on that stage and he let it rip, man. Very, very talented.
Yeah.
Super dope. 8:59 right now. Let's go ahead and get on out of here, buddy. You got some words for the peoples?
Man, as always, man, we appreciate love and thank you for making this show what it is and always being present and ready to have the conversations that need to be had with us, man. So again, we love you. We thank you. We appreciate you. As always, catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live here on First Sky Omaha from my studio here in the A, and also the fam over there at Weber Rise Studios. Big shout out to Star Trek Rich in the background, as always, for holding it down. And of course, man, until next time, Paul B. Michelle, go ahead and take it away.
Y'all. Well, support your girls, support Black women. Yes, that's my words for today.
There you go. There you go.
Yep. And turn your phone off during the show. No.
Yeah, that too.
Support Michelle turning her phone off during the show. In the chat real quick, Precious says we also hosted one last night with OPS District 2 School Board Democratic candidates. It's on our page. Go check that out as well.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, please do. Please do. It's that time of year, y'all. We gotta get busy with it and make sure we get the right people in the seats in those spaces. We gotta own the spaces because space is the place.
Yeah, man.
Leia Keister says, crush the show again. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Zergafel says, thank you, Michelle, and everyone for important words this morning. Drink water, keep your space, and be good to yourselves. Thank you. Yes, Pop says, First Sky Omaha, traveling at the speed of light. Another great show. Thank you. Vicky Young says have a great day. Put with the hands up. That's what's up. Appreciate you. You guys have a great day too. Definitely want to give props to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Want to give a shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. Shout out to all of you, the chat chimers that engage in this conversation. Please tell a friend, spread the word, spread the show. Give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. We really appreciate that as well. And I want to give a shout out to all of the reoccurring members of the station as well. Those of you that are paying $10, $25, $50 a month. Really appreciate everybody who's doing that. If you have not decided to be a reoccurring member of the station yet, please consider doing so by going to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button, and become a reoccurring member so we can keep the party going.
Yeah, man.
Keep this conversation rolling. So thank you, everyone. We will see you Friday when we will have Brother Kasim on to talk about what the Black Agenda Alliance is doing. It's going down. We cannot wait for that conversation. These brothers are doing some real work out here, taking some action, which is what we're all about here at First Sky Omaha. So appreciate you. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, you've been listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich, the three Agrios back again. We'll see you again next week. Check us out. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the Red